Hey, what's up? Welcome to Degen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the charts behind me. And so with Woof, I'm just going to draw a trend line going from the low that was hit, it looks like on April 25th. Draw that going up here. So I feel like, it's quite possible that level has been tested. I just drew that really, being kind of approximate, but if I do, I'm just going to make it a little bit thicker, and yellow stands out pretty nice there. And so, if I were to, have it from the low over here from April 25th, and then basically, be an approximate, but just have it, connecting with the closes over here in the low from this day when it was actually green. Did get some wicks below, but I do think that's kind of a nice level there to be considering. Didn't quite pull back to it. Maybe that is a bottom though. I think that some people might draw that yellow line and expect it to get hit. Maybe that bottom is in, but maybe it does get tested. And really, the low of 361, if this yellow uptrend is tested again, maybe it could be coming down to, I feel like 350 would be a little bit of a stretch. That would be like right where the cursor is here. And so perhaps could get some wicks down to 350, but if that uptrend is to hold, I'd like to still be seeing closes above it, but we could get, a fake out close below it and then a move higher. So that is a level I would be watching. Pretty easy to draw up there. We can see that, we do have potentially a double top, and what was a signal that this may have been getting rejected. And so I'm just going to draw a horizontal line, really just from the high that was hit on, let's see, October 4th, that being at around $5.89. One thing that we can check, which I think is really good to be looking at, something that did play out with GameStop over the past week, is looking at the volume. Does the volume support the stock price getting up here? And this is actually kind of contrary to what I was expecting, just glancing over at the volume. It does not line up with what I was thinking. And so here, we got up to this level and we had volume that was about 8.3 million on October 3rd. And so I was thinking that we'd probably be seeing less volume that would suggest rejection. But what we actually saw was more volume. So that would suggest more strength, but that was also with earnings here on December 6th. Did get rejected there, so not really a tell in that. But what we can see, while we don't see it in the volume, because we do have higher highs formed in the stock price, we do have higher highs formed in the volume. So there's no bearish divergence there, which you can do not only with the stock price you want to be doing a comparison between the stock price, higher highs, and an indicator, whether that's the volume or the RSI. And so there's no divergence between the stock price and the volume, but there is a divergence between the stock price and the RSI. And so we can get an idea from that if we do, let's see, just draw kind of a casual trend line. I can just do it from the lows over here, connecting it. Actually, that's not going to be a good way to draw it. And so what I'll do it is just from the highs over here, and then, getting a rejection over there. And then if we do draw basically the same type of thing, I can actually go further back in time. We have been forming lower highs. And this is actually pretty subtle. It doesn't look that much lower, but it is in fact lower on the RSI. So that is some bearish divergence, but it's very, very subtle. But yeah, at this point, that wasn't really a good tell looking at the volume, but perhaps with the RSI, that was a tell. But yeah, looking at the chart at this point, what are some levels that we could consider? And so really just kind of taking a bigger picture view, not going from the low here to the high, because we don't need to do a retracement to that because we've already done a full retracement. We have broken below the low that was hit on November 19th, which was $3.81. Maybe we're forming a double bottom there. What are some signs that could suggest this is going to turn around? Here, we did see spike in volume over here, but really volume has been kind of consistent. So, tough to say. So I think that a better way to get an idea of where the bottom might be is by doing a Fibonacci retracement, but taking a step back on the bigger scale, going from the low here, 223, and then going up to the high from, let's see, December 6th. And so I don't think the 236 or the 382 are going to be useful. So let's just throw up the 50%, which we are below. Let's see, the 618 does correspond very nicely with that double bottom. So I think that's a very nice level to consider. Also, I'm not going to leave it up there, but if I throw up the 65% retracement, which that range between the 65 and the 618, that is the golden pocket, did pull back to that level, that range very nicely. So that could be a bottom signal, but if it does go lower, the 786 is going to be around $3.10, also corresponding with the consolidation over here that could be acting as support, that trading below that level. So that is one I would be looking for if we do break below this yellow uptrend. But generally, I do think that Wolf, which is Petco, is likely to be finding a bottom right around where it's currently trading at. So yeah, I mean, hopefully that was helpful.